Hi everybody, this is MaDonna from Mad Bees Quilt and Sew, and we are back here working on our Bargello. Hopefully you're still at the same stage as I am. I have to apologize for not being with you last week. It was kind of a crazy week. I was actually in Texas, weathering a storm there. They had some pretty rough weather while we were there, but I'm back and I'm ready to work on this baby Bargello. And remember, this is one of those patterns that you can pick up in the store. It's a relatively inexpensive pattern. It is called a baby Bargello just because it's working on a small size. It doesn't mean that it's only a baby quilt. This is a great throw for somebody who's in a wheelchair. This is a great throw to throw on the couch, but it's also teaching you the Bargello technique in a smaller version using real simple measurements. So in the past couple weeks, we've worked on cutting and sewing. And so last time we met, we were working on sewing together all of our units. So you can see this is a really big unit here. And all of my seams on this are pressed towards me. So I made sure that they're all going in the same direction on this one. And the other set is actually going in the opposite direction. So these are all coming down towards me. And if I look at my other set of these, so here's my yellow, let's lay them right on top of each other, okay? I've got one that has a little bit of a floral, one that has a print, one that has this. These are pressing in the up direction, okay? So that way they're going opposite of each other. These units get mixed, one from this set, one from the next set, one from this set, one from the next set. So that's why they want you to work with the facing two different directions. So once you've done your whole strip set together, we actually are going to make a donut of it. And that's what I've got right here. So I have got one nice size, huge long john at this point, okay? So it's a big, huge donut. So I can find my hands here. It's all connected all the way around, okay? And that's how we're going to cut this, is when it's in this donut shape.
No,
okay?
it's a MaDonna.
A MaDonna. There you go. Oh, no.
I'll keep my day job.
Okay, so let me toss this one out of the way, and we're going to work on this unit first. We're going to call this Unit A, and you need to make sure that you keep all of the A's in one stack, okay? Because Unit B is pressed the other direction. I'm going to lay this out on my cutting mat, and it actually says in the instructions that one of the seams you can choose to not even press in the one direction, and that's your decision. But once you pull on this and you flatten it out, they kind of flatten out nicely. So I am just going to flatten out my unit. Okay, so I want this to be nice and smooth on here. Ooh, I don't like this because it's too long for my cutting mat. This would be a definite time when I would be on the bigger cutting table. So my mat here is only 24 inches. I would prefer to have the long one. Actually, there's one right up there.
You want to move up?
Yeah, we could move up, or do you want me to just put it over here?
Either way.
Okay, let's move up.
Let's move.
Cut it. Okay, and you're going to come around on this side.
Ooh.
You know, you guys, we are so real here. You know, we really don't know what we're doing. I should have grabbed this earlier to pretend for a minute. Oh, I can show you some other patterns that came in while we're on, guys. Exploding stars finally came in. Okay, so here I am again, okay? So much easier if you've got a longer mat. Most mats that are for your cutting table are 18 by 36, and that's what you want for this. That one's only by 24, and that's a little bit short. Right now, it matters not where I'm at on the mat. I'm not using my mat to cut with. I'm using my fabric and my ruler. So I am going to lay out my fabric on my mat so that I've got a nice straight line across the bottom here, okay? So I'm making sure that this is nice and straight, and I'm just smoothing this out. Sometimes when we smooth out with our hands, we have a tendency to stretch things. So you can always use the back side of your ruler. Just set it down and glide it across, and you can see how it kind of takes out any of those lumps and valleys without stretching it. Okay, it works great. The back of your ruler can work really well to smooth things out. Once we've smoothed this out nicely, we are going to cut off this mismatched selvage, okay? And I'm actually going to slide this towards me a little bit. So I'm working with a really nice area here, okay? So that way you can see and I can also see. So right now I've got to get rid of all of this junk out here. but I do need to be frugal with how much I take off. I don't want to take off too much because I need all of this strip, this width here, so that I get all the pieces I want. I now am going to put my ruler onto the fabric, and you can see I am still a little bit short on my ruler length compared to my fabric length. So I'm going to slide my ruler towards me, and I'm going to line up out here, even though I don't have ruler there. I can kind of follow that line along and see where it's going. I don't like that this seam flipped, so I'm going to pick that up and make sure that I get that nice and smooth, nice and smooth. I want to make sure that everything feels really good. Okay, am I making sense so far, Deanna?
I think so.
Okay, I am going to cut out about 6 to 8 inches. And when I cut out, I want to watch my hip position so that I'm not cutting way over. There we go. Okay, see how I was able to move over by moving the table? Okay, so I'm going to push this down. I'm going to start cutting, and I'm going to go out about 6 to 8 inches and stop. I'm not lifting up anything. I'm keeping everything exactly where it's at. And now I'm just going to take my hand and just gently slide this forward without really moving anything. Nothing got picked up. I slid with my thumb so that now I'm marked all the way down at the very end here. And I want to make sure I'm nice and straight. And I'm just going to now finish all the way out. Slide my hand, slide my hand, slide my hand. I did feel that one spot right in here didn't sound like it cut all the way through. So I'm just going to check. Oh, it did. Okay, but see how I held my ruler in place? That way I know for sure that all of that cut nice and clean. Okay, so from my instruction sheet, Deanna, from my instruction sheet, I'm going to cut my next strips. Okay, so that was my junk. Okay, now it says blah, blah, blah. So I'm going through, this is group, we're going to call this group A. And we need to cut, how wide of pieces am I cutting? You think that I've never done this before. Oh, cross cut each strip into 11 segments measuring 2.5 inches. So 2.5. Okay, again, same thing. Line up my ruler. I don't care about what my mat says. I am looking at my ruler. I'm going to make sure I'm nice and straight across the very bottom edge here. I'm going to check on the side here. Again, my ruler doesn't meet all the way to the very end. I'm not worried about that. Because I didn't lift up my fabric at all over here, I don't have anything to really fix. I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to go out 6 to 8 inches. I'm going to just gently move my ruler forward. Make sure that it's lined up nicely. Checking my edge down here. But see, nothing got picked up. Put my hand back down and continue cutting. Hand moves, cut. Hand moves, cut. Nice and easy. Gonna lift this up right here. My ruler's holding in place. Everything's cut. Set it right back down. I didn't move it anywhere. It's staying right where it's at. And I've got my first segment cut. I need to get 11 of these donuts cut from the A group. And then I'm going to cut 11 of these donuts from the B group. But I want to keep them exactly in their A group and B group. So mark them. It is not a bad thing to mark every single one of these A, and all the B ones, all 11. It just makes it much easier when you do this. So your homework for this week is to cut 22 donuts. Mark them in an A group and a B group, and we'll be sewing next week together. You guys have a great week, and oh, I was going to show you some new patterns. Some fun things. Actually, some things I'm teaching. So I will be teaching the fun Santa hats. Really super cute. Out of this book, and I know many of you have this book, I am teaching this. Is that not the cutest? So cute. And this makes a nice big quilt. This makes a 60-inch quilt. 60 by, let me tell you here. It is 60.5 by 74. So what a great Christmas blankie. In this book here, I'm making a Christmas quilt. I know, hard to believe we're thinking about Christmas. Christmas in July, you know, it happens every year. Look at those houses. This is applique. So if you've not tried applique before, great opportunity. Okay, and then lastly, exploding hearts.
Ooh.
Okay, so we actually have kits of this cut already. It's done with cafe fabric and a black background. So really a different look to it. So come on in, take some classes, and I am sure I will see you all soon. Remember, this is the place you want to be. Bye now.